Hi guys, so I'm gonna start this video off by giving a quick shout out to a really close friend, Ashley Wingford, who hooked me up with Scentsy. The scent I got for my sample was Black Raspberry Vanilla. Now she did offer an actual wax melter, but we already have one, so I wanted to show you that as well. It's this cute little dragon. As you can tell, I already have a wax on starting to melt, so we'll check on it as it goes throughout this video. Speaking of which, it's actually starting to melt pretty fast now. Most of them, if I can grab it, I don't know, most of them feel almost like plastic when you open them up. This one's really smooth and it's really soft. It's almost like a gel, but I really like it. So we'll see how the house smells at the end of all this. We'll check in on it every once in a while. We'll see. Now, for those of you that have been keeping pace with me on my stories and Instagram and Facebook, the mani I'm going to be doing today is a slightly modified version of the acrylic mani I literally just had on and decided to take off. The sets I will be using include Midnight in Manhattan, At the Plaza, and I Want Scandi. Today I'm actually going to be talking about something different too. I'm not going to do a continued book review. Instead, I'm just going to kind of talk about something close to heart. Earlier this week, I was almost applauded for the way I'm so candid in my stories. Someone had come up to me and they had, well, not come up to me, they messaged me, and they had thanked me for being just so open and honest about my mental health. I guess for me, it's more just, I don't know how not to be. After getting over the emotional side effects of just having somebody thank me for that, I kind of started thinking to myself, I was like, somebody's thanking me for talking about mental health. Even if it's the only thing I know how to talk about. Somebody thanked me for it, which, shouldn't really be a thing. There is such a huge stigma around mental health. And I think one of the few good things that have happened is just people are realizing more and more. More people are coming forward and talking about it. So for those of you who are finding me on YouTube or just now seeing me, you don't know my Instagram page and know nothing about me, I have bipolarity. I have anxiety, and I definitely have major depression and PTSD. In other words, I'm a nutcase wrapped in a tiny body. In the words of Hinder, welcome to the freak show. No, but for real, in truth, what does mental health look like to a lot of us? What does it look like? What do we see it as? Quick check-in while we think about that. That is such a gorgeous color. Oh my goodness. I'm in love with the smell and the color. When I tell y'all this scent, this wax is vibe, it's a vibe. I love it in here. It smells so good. We see mental health in memes. We see mental health in conversations. We see mental health when it fails us. And we see a lot of pain that way too. There's so much around it. And I used to hate with a passion. I used to hate how people are like, your organs can be sick, so why can't your brain be sick? I don't know why I hated it, because that's truly what it is. But it used to bug me so much because I guess it was just like, I can fight this thing on my own. I'm gonna like be just fine and nobody's gonna tell me differently. The sad part is I honestly think that's just the truth of it though. I have good days, I have bad days, just like anybody else who gets sick. I have ups, I have downs, especially with bipolarity. I guess I feel it a little more intensely. That's a poor choice of words. We all react differently to mental health when dealing with mental health. So for me, my hypermania is just through the roof. I have to get things done. I have to get things done to the point it's horribly energy draining. And I think that's the sad part, is no matter what like side of bipolarity you're dealing with, it's just draining. It's energy consuming. And for me, I have bipolarity NOS, which is not otherwise specified. All that basically means is I don't fall into the category of bipolarity 1, and I don't fall into the category of bipolarity 2. And yes, I'm in therapy for it all. But that was only something I recently started because it took me, I'm 22 now. I won't bore you guys with the story of it all, but either way, we're here to talk about mental health. So, needless to say, it's hard. It is. And it's not the easiest to talk about either, because then you have people that are like, oh, but you're faking it. It's like it's impossible for the head to get sick. And some of us, we do try to battle through it all. Some of us don't like help because eventually we just get tired. We get tired of the hearing you're faking it. We get tired of being pumped full of meds. We get tired of just dealing with it all. We feel like a burden. I don't know. What do you feel like? Isn't that the question we're all asked? How do you feel today? There's just so much to say about it, but yet it's almost like it's the one thing we don't want to talk about. If I had to take a guess at what makes it so hard to manage and live with, is that everybody makes it so easy to hide. Everybody makes it so easy to not talk about it. Because let me explain what goes through our heads. It's very much like this, where it takes one bad person to ruin it all for everybody else. So that one person comes up to you, starts a conversation, asks how you're doing. You trust them enough to tell them, and then everything blows up in your face. They tell everybody something you trusted them with. They sit there, they use it against you in fights. It's something they mention without understanding, and they mention it in conversation just so casually, like this thing that traumatized you. Is just all of these things add up, and it makes you not want to talk about it. So the next 5 people that might genuinely care, they come up to you, start these conversations, ask how you're doing, and all you can remember is that one time, and you're just like, I'd rather not. I'm gonna tell you I'm okay, because it's better than going through all of that again. I think that's what makes it so difficult. It's because those few bad people make it so easy to just shut down around everybody else. I'm about halfway through my manicure. I have these on. Now I'm just gonna add my pointer blacks, and then I'm gonna go through and do the strips I want Scandy on this finger, and then I'm gonna finish off with my thumbs. Yes. The longer this scent wax burns, the better it looks and smells. Look at that. It's so beautiful. Like, that's such a gorgeous purple. I recently started smoking medicinal marijuana, and it wasn't something I chose to do. I mean, it obviously is. I make the choice to put it to my lips and inhale, and I make those choices, but it wasn't my idea. I had actually been very wary, just like pause on it all, because for a while, and some of you watching know, like, you knew me in high school, for a while I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. And then I came back from a certain trip to Florida and had just quit it all. And I told myself I'd never, I was not for it. I didn't want to be that person. But here I am. And not to say that I'm that person now. I'm not. I'm definitely not. I smoke twice a day, and never when my daughter's awake. It's always like during her naps or whenever somebody else has her. I am very strict about it. There are rules in place. That being said, I unfortunately can't say it doesn't help. I can't. I'm calmer in terms of just anxiety. Things that'll normally stress me out, I don't pay attention to. For example, I have a full dish, like sink worth of dishes, and normally I'd bug myself over it, but I'm a mom, and it's just me right now, so dishes are gonna pile up. I bet y'all were like expecting some superhuman, outlandish difference. But here's the thing, it is different. It is different for me because normally I'd be all over it. I'd be pulling my hair out trying to get 5,000 things done. I wouldn't have the time to make this video. I'd be crying because I'd just be stressed out about it all. Meanwhile, there's food in my fridge. My daughter is fed. I am fed. We're safe. We're healthy. We're happy. That's what's important. I'll get the dishes later. Trust me, I'm not going to bed without them being done. There are many different ways to treat, to manage, however you want to go about it. I keep dropping my nail strips. There are many different ways to go about it all, and I don't know the true answer, because some people, they thrive off of medication. I didn't. It turned me into a robot, and I hated it. Truly hated it. But others, obviously, like myself, we don't thrive so much off of it. And it sucks, because then you have to find new ways, which aren't bad. I managed for a while without this. This is actually for Jay, because when you get into a relationship, suddenly it's not your mental health, it's the household's mental health, which is an adjustment I'm making as well. And it's a true adjustment because I'm not used to having to consider that. I'm really not. But it's not a bad thing to consider because he lives with me. So therefore, he lives with my help too. And he says this definitely has helped us. So, maybe it has. But I digress. 1 second, just putting on the accent nails here. The faces I make, right? Pause to just look at how cute that is. That turned out so much better than the acrylics. I got so caught up in trying to cut the lines right and doing the decorating that I genuinely forgot what I was talking about. I am almost done though. These manicures go by really quickly, thanks to Color Street. And my daughter's waking up, so you guys will get to see the finished product here in a second. We will take a look at the wax one last time, and then I will hop off. Let me know in the comments, truly, if this is a subject you want me to keep talking about on here. This was kind of just a spur of the moment change in subject, off script, and it's honestly a sensitive subject sometimes. So you guys let me know what you think. This is one I would really appreciate comment on down below. So, ta-da! Is this a subject we would like to hear more on? What do you guys, if so, what do you guys want to hear me talk about? What are some of your own struggles? Could you relate to this? There's so much here. So just kind of let me know in the comments. In the meantime, I'm gonna wrap up in the next few seconds. And there you guys have it. I personally think this turned out a lot better than the acrylics that I had on. It's cleaner, it's neater, and I love it. Boom, 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 boom. Of course, all sets you saw today, I will leave the link to shop those. If you want to join my VIP group, I'll leave that in the comments. Both of those will be in the comments. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on everything I talked about today, what you would like to hear from me moving forward. You guys, stay safe. Reach out if you need help. Bye. Ooh, I lied. I forgot. We said one more time to look at the dragon. The dragon says bye, guys.